Back at it again with the grind again. Is your boy Jingo. This is your host from the Best Kept Secret podcast, and I am here with a special guest. His name is Melvy. What's good?
I'm good, bro.
Yes, let's keep everything authentic. We've been here twice now due to complications and all that stuff there, internet and etc. But yeah, so guys, this is one of the segments of the Best Kept Secret podcast called Real Life, Real Stories, Real Situations. It's basically a platform to give ordinary people to share their experiences and how they overcame traumatic experiences. I just feel as though that, ordinary people, you're ordinary people in the sense of anyways, but they have the most amazing stories. And I know here, this brother here has got the most amazing story. And I know that it's going to bless you. And yeah, so Melvy,
Yup.
are you ready for this? Are you ready to
Ready.
impact people's lives and all them things there?
Let's go.
So what story are you gonna come with?
Yeah, so I'm going to share my testimony.
Mm-hmm.
The testimony is your life, how it was before you met Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and how your life was after when you're with Christ.
Okay,
So that's what a testimony is.
calm. So we obviously let's go with a background. Let's go with a background because you said how your life was before meeting Christ. So can you explain to us, how your life was? You as a kid, your living standards and etc.
Okay, so I'm from Congo. So I grew up in a Congolese family.
Mm.
So you all knowing that as being African, so it's very strict. But I grew up in a Christian family, you understand? My mom's a prayer, like she prays.
Mm.
My dad used to pray, but it was really my mom. From what I remember, my mom used to pray a lot. Like one of them prayers, like when you're sleeping and you just hear someone speaking in tongues downstairs. Like, Mom,
5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, man. Mom is only 4 in the morning. Like, relax,
Yeah.
man. That's the kind of upbringing I had. But I thank God for her life, man. I remember sitting down and she's all me and my siblings, and she's sitting and she's reading the Bible to us. The Bible with pictures and that.
Yeah.
And then, it was good. So yeah, and obviously like African parents, they make you come to church. You understand? There's no well, you don't feel like going to church? Don't worry, stay at home. None of that.
The must.
So from
you have no say. You have no say.
No say at all. What was that? So from from the age of 12 up to like 14 or 15, I should say. So yeah, my mom was just like, "You're coming, even if you're feeling ill." She was like, "Okay, by the time you come to church, you leave church, you feel good." It's one of them. So it doesn't matter if you're ill or what, you're coming. So obviously I grew up in church. So if I fast forward back, I have to go back a bit.
Yeah.
So people can understand and maybe get the bigger picture.
Yeah.
When my mom was pregnant for me, because she got pregnant at a young age, she was 16. So when she was pregnant of me, her whole family were telling her, "Look, you need to do abortion. You're too young. You still got studies." And obviously she wasn't saved at that time. So she's like, "Yeah, of course. Like, I'm 16. What I'm going to do with a child when I give birth at 17? I'm not even mature and all that."
Yeah.
So so imagine she booked an appointment, abortion clinic. She booked an appointment on a Friday. Yeah. So she booked on a Friday. Then on a Wednesday, she just went out to go day by day shopping, whatever. So she's walking. So now this is the importance of people that on the streets are witnessing about Christ.
Yeah.
So she's walking in the street and then she can hear people just witnessing, talking about Jesus. So obviously one of the guys caught her eye and then they spoke to her, gave her a leaflet and really convicted her in it as a 16-year-old. And she's listening. She's like, "Oh," she's feeling really convicted. And then she gave her life to Christ there and then. Yeah. So this is on a Wednesday.
Let's pause though, because I feel like what? So abortions, like there were abortions back in the day like that. I mean, obviously, like we know that our parents, they're not really old, innit? Because for us, they're like ancient. They're our parents. Yeah. But obviously, like this is the first time I'm hearing like a family really encouraging, an African family encouraging their child to really take an abortion. That's the first book. Like,
I think because I didn't even get that. When my mom came to Holland, she came by herself. You understand? She didn't come with her mom and dad. She came as a foster child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So her dad already died, but her mom was always already in Congo. She got put on a plane at the age of 9 to go to France to go stay with her sister. But in order for her to get a better life, her sister said, you know what, go to Holland, because at that time, Holland is good, is lovely. But in order for you to get to that country, you need to come through the foster system. You understand? So she went through the foster way. So that's why the sister encouraged, it wasn't the parents, the sister encouraged her, look, you need to get rid of that, because look how young you are. That might mess up the paperwork and all that stuff.
What, so your auntie basically encouraged her?
Yeah. Auntie, yeah. All her sisters. Yeah.
How is that right now? Because now they look at you like, how's that situation there?
Bro, it is mad. Because now, it is mad. It's like, it's mad. Yeah, it's very mad, man. I'll get to that though. It's very mad.
Yeah. Go on.
It's very mad. So, So she gets saved on that Wednesday, and she's getting convicted of that. She's like, nah, I can't get rid of this baby. So she didn't turn up to the clinic. You understand? So even though everyone's saying, you need to do this, she's like, nah, I'm keeping the child. So that's miracle one. So there, boom. Because I go back to Jeremiah 1:5. It says, God says, I knew you before you was formed in your mom's womb. You understand? God already knew you before you even come out your mom. Yeah. So that's that. So so I grew up in church, like I said, but when I started becoming about 12, 13, that was the wicked years. So like I said, I stayed at my cousin's house, right? And when I moved to my auntie in West London, my older cousin, he was in jail. So I didn't really know about the road life, about all of that stuff. I'm an innocent 12-year-old, you understand? I didn't even know about sex at the time as well. Nothing, I was oblivious to all of that. So I was just in football because I knew how to play football. So I was just into football. I think I got scouted by Watford when I was year 7. And I've been at Watford from the age of 12 all the way till 21. So I've been there a long time. So I've got a pro.
No, you was out here. Okay, I hear that.
So so I was playing with my cousins. So while they're going partying and all that, I'm playing football. So then when my cousin come out of jail now, which I didn't know that he was one of the main guys in the ends. Understand? People respected him. Yeah. So my perspective of life changed. Because all I knew was football, come home, football, eat, football. And then I see him, he'll come to the house. At that time, he was about 22, I think, when I was about 12. Yeah, he was 22. And he's coming with a Mercedes. You know, them old back in the days Mercedes. Yeah. And then I see him, different type of girls. I'm like, rah. So now, slowly without me realizing, I'm admiring the way he's living.
That's your first, that's your first scene of success. That's the first picture of success for you. In a sense, what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Because we were so our family was so poor, you understand? So we had to work for what we had. You get me? So if it means I have to beat up someone to get their stuff, you know, even though I don't want to do that, but because I want to keep up with the guys, because I don't want to look bummy or have holes in my shoes and everyone just get me. So I see his lifestyle, I'm like, rah. I start admiring it. These times there, if I just focused on my football, one day I'll even outshine him when it comes to money, you understand? Yeah. But that wasn't the mind. That's another thing of people not guiding young men, you understand? Guiding young men. So I'm admiring him. And then I was like, you know what? I was asking him, like, how'd you get your money? And he's like, you're too young to know. I was like, nah, man, just let me know. And he goes, are you sure? I was like, yeah, boom. So he showed me from the age of 13, I already knew how to put bags of Coke into little pellets, into small bags. Like that. He showed me everything.
When I was 13, I wasn't doing that. I was just playing football in the park.
Bro. Because I saw from first class what he was doing, you understand? From first class, what's that powder thing? It's like, But one thing he said, never try none of this. This is for them and there. You don't try nothing. If you can do this, just sell it. Don't do nothing. So I knew how to put cocaine, weed. And luckily, I never touched all of that because remember, I played football. So I knew that, and I was quite talented, you know, because from the age of 15, I got my professional contract. Yeah. Normally you get it when you're about 18. Nowadays, about 18, when you finish your scholar, then they'll tell you, give you a pro or we will let you go. But I knew before my scholarship that I would get a professional contract after. So I was quite talented, but I was like, I don't know, I just got distracted in that lifestyle. I wanted that lifestyle because he gets girls, he gets whatever girl he wants and all of that. Just money everywhere. So I said to myself, you know what, if I'm going to be bad, I'm going to be bad properly. And in those times where I lived, there weren't really that many black people. it was more white people, right, in
Okay.
West London. And there was a lot of racism.
Okay.
So I've been called every single name under the sun. You get me? You black guy, you dark African, you gorilla, all of that. So from a young age, I grew up with hatred and pain and anger, not only for the racism, but also what's happening in my household where, because remember I told you my mom was 16, you understand? And she kept me.
Yeah.
There's times when my parents have arguments, and I remember one day I was coming back from football training, but I came back early. They thought I was going to come back the normal time. But I think something was cancelled, so I got back early. And as I'm opening the door, I just hear my parents arguing. And I remember my dad saying, "Oh, you should have aborted him. That time you should have aborted him, then he wouldn't give us all that headache." You understand? So as a 13-year-old, you're
Are they
coming in
arguing
house.
because of you, or they're arguing?
They're arguing because of me, yeah. Because I think the week before I got arrested or something, you understand? I was a troubled kid, you understand? So it's just giving them headache. And then he was talking about, my dad was giving like examples of like a fish. If you cut off the head of the fish, it won't pollute the body of the fish, you understand? Like a scenario, like, because I'm the oldest sibling, the way I'm carrying myself, I might affect
You
the
might
younger
affect
sibling.
the
You understand? So, yeah, it's mad. So you hearing things like that and you can't do nothing to him. So you're like, wow. So you're just growing up with hatred, you're growing up with anger. So what can you do? You go in the streets and lash it out. So that was a way for me to lash out my anger. So randomly just find someone. Someone might look at me because he's admiring what I'm wearing or my trainers, but I'll just lash out at him. He's like, what are you looking at? That's it, boom. Doing that, I got into a lot of trouble with a lot of people. A lot of people wanted to get me, understand?
Yeah.
It got to a point where I don't know who's after me because I'll just knock out anyone. I don't care. Oh, my brother is so-and-so. He's from that area. So boom, boom, boom. It was like that. So people were onto, man.
Man,
So,
let's just stop there, bro. Like, let's just stop there. I'm sure, man, because that what you just said is deep, innit? Because you know, like, this is your life story. This is your life, innit? So it's like you lived it, and it's normal to you. You get me?
Yeah.
The way you're just saying it. For me, it's like raw. Like your dad literally said, "Yeah, what did you say? Cut off the what?
Head of a fish.
Cut the head of the fish so it doesn't affect the other kids."
Yeah, the body.
And you know, you also said one thing about here is like, you know, you started going on road more, and you know that anger, you know, grew in a sense. Would you say it's because, like, because I feel like, you know, fathers are very important in the process, like in the developing years of a young boy's life, in it. They're very important, that they play a vital role. Would you say
100%.
that, you know, that really affected you? Your father's words and your father's actions towards you really affected you, and in a sense, you lost your identity, in a sense that, brother, who am I really? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the person that's supposed to instill these morals and values to me has basically forsaken me, bro. So how did you feel, like, you know, in your latter years, in your younger years? Like, how was that situation there?
Boy, it made me go mad. It made me do things I didn't want to do. I'm not gonna lie to you. It made me not care about life, to be honest. Because hearing things like that is just like, wow. And I didn't realize that that really affected me to even later. It's just recently, Jingo, just recently now. I'm 28 now, yeah? So let's say last year, starting off when I was 26 to now, where I'm changing my relationship with my dad.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah, that's how my hatred, my heart towards him, that's how it was. Like, I couldn't talk to him. Like, when I moved out, I was just calling my mum. My mum was like, "Is there a problem? Like, why are you not calling your dad?" I never used to say nothing. I was like, "Yeah, I'll call him," but I didn't really feel like talking to him. You understand? And I was like, "Bro, there's an issue in my heart there." You understand? So I deal with that.
Man, and this just shows, like, you know, Christians are not clean cut. I feel like, you know, this perception of this new age church feels like Christians are just out here, you know, basically trying to, you know, act clean cut. We're not clean cut. Jesus came for the worst of the worst. And, you know, and that's really real. You telling us, like, you know, you are just now starting to amend your relationship with your father. Do you get what I'm saying? That just shows, like, you know, the heart of Christ in a sense, in terms of, you know, him just sowing that little thing, you know what I'm saying? So it grows, and him showing you his perspective of love. And I feel like, you know, that comes with time anyways. But anyways, bro, like, let's go on with the story. Sorry, man. That was just for me. That's how to stop.
Yeah, so my anger, I used to take out on roads. So I just fight people, and with that, fighting a lot of people, you get enemies. You understand? But I didn't care. I thought, you know what, I don't care. If I'm going to do this road thing properly, I'm going to do it properly.
Mm.
So I'm not going to be half-hearted. I'm not going to front. You understand? There's times, even when I look back at the situation, I'm like, how on earth did I make it out of it? Like, I'll give you one prime example. It was Carnival, yeah? So during Carnival, we were walking, there was 4 of us. So we're walking past a group of guys and they're staring at us, they're G-checking us. You know what G-check means, isn't it? When they look at you up and down, proper making you feel small. And I don't like that stuff. And I was like, what are they looking at? And then Reggie was like, bruv, there's 4 of us. We just came. There's a reason why there's 4 of us. We just came to enjoy Carnival. We didn't come to fight the one. And I was like, nah. They're trying to make me look small. So I just walked up to the guy. Can you imagine? There's like, what, 15 or 20 of them. I just walked up to one of them. And I just like, what? Is there a problem? And he's like, what? So before he even reacted, boom, on the floor. And obviously, there's a little
scuffle.
There's an altercation now. But obviously, because there's police, nothing could happen. It's broad daylight. There's a lot of other people there, so nothing could happen. So it split us. And I was like, yeah, I felt good. Like, yeah, that's what I thought. And then we were like, okay, whatever. So now after Carnival finished now, guess what? The last chariot goes around 5 p.m. But then there's after parties, isn't it? So us as well, instead of using our brain, let's go home, we've enjoyed Carnival, let's go now. No, let's go find after parties. It's getting dark now. Now, the guy that punched, they clocked us. Now there's even more than 15, so they've doubled. Oh my days.
Hey.
So I was like, no weapon, no nothing. I was like, oh, bro, I saw my life flash, bro. That was the first time I said, wow. Because I've seen my life flash twice, innit? I told you about the second time a bit later. But literally, I thought I was going to die that day because they were like, what? I see a big Rambo, like a big knife. I don't know where they get it from. One big knife. I see someone with a knuckle duster. I was thinking, wow. But then I said, thank God I'm a footballer, innit? So I'm quite quick and I'm quite down. And so is my friend. So, boy, as we were running, they're chasing us. And we nearly got into a dead end as well. But luckily, I was like, something said to me left. So I turned left and we went through the alleyway and we managed to get out. And I was like, wow. And saying that, something told me to go left. Even in the days where I knew God, but I didn't really know him, he was still speaking to me. You understand?
Yeah.
So for those out there that think, oh, I'm not Christian, God can still speak to you.
He speaks.
Because like I said, he knows you from your mom's womb. You understand? Sometimes you have to go through things till you realize that it's God. So even in those days, I can still, but I didn't know it was Christ talking to me. And I just thought, oh, it's my conscience or whatever. Yeah. Stuff like that. So yeah, so we managed to get out of that. But I didn't care. I always used to fight. So I think when I was about 14, that's when I stood bold to my mum and I said, I'm not coming to church anymore. I just stood bold. I said, there's no point because I'm not learning nothing. Like when they would tell us to go to Sunday school, me and the pastor's son would just, this how bad it was, When they used to do offering, my mum used to give me like £1 to put in the offering bowl. My wicked mind, I would go to the offering bowl, I put £1, pretend I'm putting it in, and these times I'm taking out like whatever note I can grab and then put in my pocket. And with that money, me and the pastor's son would go, pretend that we're going to Sunday school, but we'll go out spending on food.
Hey, can we just say that? Listen, the pastor's children here are the worst in the bunch here of the children of. You get what I'm saying? Listen, I was raised by my grandmother. She's a pastor. My grandfather's a pastor. I was the worst. You get what I'm saying? So it's just proof of like, yo, pastor children are out here. But So you said obviously that to your mom, like, listen, I'm not coming to church and like that.
I said, well, there's no point. You're just wasting my time because I'm not feeling nothing. It's like I'm going for no reason. I'll sit in the chair, pastor will preach. It's not like it's convicting me, innit? So what's the point? So I was like, yeah, I'm not going. And that's when I start. And obviously, I rated my mum as well because she didn't really say, nah, you have to. She just looked at me. She's like, all right. I think she got to the point where she's like, you know what? So what's the point, innit?
God's hands now. You're in God's hands now, in a sense, innit? So all she can do is just pray for you, innit?
Literally.
I feel like, maybe I'm brother, like, you know me, man, like I have a big mouth. Like, obviously, in a sense, I just feel like, she did, like, parents, we feel like parents are stupid, fam. Parents can read situations. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, in the sense that, your father is not showing your love like that. Do you get what I'm saying? And obviously that your situation at home, just in a sense, is just not good, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So how, if they are the first people to show you the love of Christ and the heart of Christ, and in one side it's not the one that's supposed to instill that is not even like, it's not getting through to you like that. You know what I'm saying? He's basically forsaking you in a sense like that. How are you gonna learn that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I guess you just read the situation. It's like, you know what, you're in God's hands, isn't it? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I just left fully. I started hanging around with my cousin. He started showing me more things, and doing that as well, people feared me automatically because they feared him.
Yeah.
I get the same fear. So I used to abuse that fear. So
Yeah.
I would go to the people older than me and say, what? I would just disrespect them. These times there, you need to respect your elders, you know. Not your elders, but people are older than you. You understand? If like a young person right now and talks to me anyhow, that's a bit, we both live the same life. I've lived the life that you're living right now and you're talking to me anyhow. That don't make sense. You have to respect that. Because of that covering of my cousin, I used to talk to people anyhow, which got me into more trouble because he went jail again. And this time he went jail for 4 years. And this is the longest he's been in jail. And plus he caught another 3 years on top of that because he was fighting in jail. He got caught with a phone. So it's 6 years in total. Now, can you imagine? Before that, I was just living off him. I was doing what I wanted to do. No one could do nothing to me because they'd be like, oh, that's Icy's cousin. What's he going to do? We can't do nothing. The moment he went jail, that's when I realized, right, I have got so many people against me. And people are ready to hurt me. You understand? People are ready to hurt me. And now I had to really defend for myself and use my name to literally, instead of
By that
hiding.
time, have you, obviously, like you've only explained that you were just, you know, throwing hands. By that time, when your cousin went to jail, did you start carrying weapons now? Is that the time that you were like, okay, I need to start carrying weapons?
The first time I started carrying weapons is that story I told you when I nearly thought I was going to die. From then, after I saw that guy with the big, long knife, Rambo, I said, yeah, I need to step up my game. It's not the hands no more. You understand? Now we're going to the era where we have to use knives and guns. You understand? We can't. Hands, no one does that no more. So yeah, I'll start carrying knives. But not really all the time. I will hide in a bush and I'll go about my day and I know exactly he's there. So if anything happened, I'll be like, okay, come follow me. I'll act brave to the person. Like, yeah, come, let's go around the corner. After there's like 4 of them and they're like, what? So they'll think twice, like, why is he telling us to go around the corner? So they'll just stop the altercation there. So yeah, I'll start carrying. And then the first time I held a gun was my friend got violated in college. So what happens is now, when you think that you're untouchable and you're just talking to people anyhow, you're robbing people, you're beating up people, if people can't get to you, they'll get to people close to you. You understand? They'll get to your friends. That's maybe not people close to you such, but your man them. So they caught one of my guy in college. Some guys caught him, they beat him up so bad, and then they urinated on him. So can you imagine that violation? So you beat someone up and then you urinate. So he lost it. I remember he saying that, bruv. And that's when I realized, even though I was going through all of this stuff, because I still had both of my parents, even though my dad wasn't really like a father, but he was still there, you understand? And my mom was there. I still had conscience in my dark self. And I've realized those who don't have parents or coming from single parents, they got nothing to lose. And especially kids coming from foster homes, they definitely have nothing to lose. When it comes to we're going to ride out, they are on it 100%. I could be on it, but there's like 30% that's like, whoa, yeah, we have to think tactical here, you understand? But some of them are like, nah, this is a violation, we're going in, whatever happens, happens. You understand? So he said, they violated me, so I was like, oh my days. So I was like, oh, this is violation, we need to get them back. So I remember, because my cousin, like I said, he had everything in it. He even showed me his connects where you can get weapons and all that. So I remember I shouted the guy, and the guy was like, you're a bit too young for that. I was like, bro. And obviously, I don't know if, I'll say it anyways. When you get weapons, there's a thing called weapon with a dirty weapon and a clean weapon. The dirty weapons are more cheaper than the clean weapon. When I say dirty, I'm talking about weapons that have been used. It could have killed someone, or it's just been used, you understand? They tend to be cheaper. The reason why, because if you do get caught, now, if they haven't caught the person that killed your accomplice, you understand? And it's happened before. It's happened before. So instead of getting 2 years or 4 years, you're getting 25, 35, stuff like that. So I said, we don't care. So I think he said this weapon has been used. It hasn't killed someone, but it's been used. So we got it for quite a decent price. So it was a handgun. That's the first time I held a gun. And obviously, you see the movies, you think that is a light thing. These things are heavy. And I was shaking. I was like, oh my days. Things start coming into my head. What if police is there? Because having a weapon, that's 5 years straight away. And then per bullet. So imagine how...
They kind of per bullet as well.
That's a year added on.
Yeah.
So holding the gun, I wasn't really comfortable. But he was like, yeah, I'll hold it. I was like, okay, cool. Hold it. But don't just wait. So the people that done it, they were having a party like 3 weeks after. They were having, this story is still in the article, it's called West Ealing shooting. So they're having a party, and then we was like, yeah, this is the time. But I was thinking, it's in the middle of the high street, too many cameras and that. Like, nah, we don't care. This is the time. It's the only time we can get them, because other than that, we can't get them. And set up chicks is a real thing. Yeah.
Then we just like, set up chicks are real.
It's not a joke. Like what we've seen on BBC and all that is real.
Hey.
It's real. So we managed to find a girl that knew them. When I say knew them, like she was close to them, and she told us.
Man, this is the first time I'm actually interviewing somebody that actually actively said to a girl, "Listen, do this." Raw, it's real.
It's real.
Go on.
So she would text us. She's like, "Yeah, they're all here." And she's like, nah, don't come yet. There's 2 of them that are not here yet. She'll tell us, boom, and they're like, yeah, they're all here. But they're all standing outside because something happened in the house, in the party, that they had to kick everyone out.
Yeah.
So that was perfect for us as well. Now we can see. Instead of us walking in, we'll do it in the middle of the high street. So we're on the bus now. I'm holding the gun, but I'm shaking. Jingle, wow. I've never sweated like that, but I'm on the bus and I've got a gun in my pocket. Normally I've got just knives, isn't it? Knives is calm, but gun, wow. And lo and behold, I'm on the bus, 2 community officers walk in. I'm like, oh my days. And there's like 6 of us at the back. Yeah. And obviously, them times there we had, it's called a Langman jacket. So them jacket with goggles as well, and you tie up around your waist, so you look proper like a thug. And then
you like, you got my hand down side, so yeah.
You know them, you remember them Nike leather gloves as well?
Hey, them ones that used to put here. And your back and forth is leaking. Go. This guy, oh man.
So we're ready. And I was like, oh my days. And as usual, the community officers, they walk in, they look at us straight away, boom. And they look at us and we're like, oh no. And I'm shaking, but I'm trying to compose myself because I'm like, oh. And they're like, you're right, boys. We're like, yeah, we're good. Where are you off to? To a party. Okay. And then, I don't know, normally they would ask more questions, but they just asked those questions and then 2 minutes bus stop, they got off. Woo! I was like, you know what? I said to the man, I was like, oh, if someone else hold this, because boy, I was sweating. Oh my God. And obviously the guy that got violated was like, yeah, I'll hold it. I was like, ooh. Something to me till this day, I wish. I said no. But he's like, nah, trust me. I said, A voice told me not to give it to him, but he's like, you know what, forget. Here you go. I gave it to him.
Yeah.
And then, so we got at the bus stop. So say the party, we got at the bus stop before, so we can see and scan properly. So now we're walking towards the crowd and he can see the guys that were there. And in fact, he can see the guy that urinated on him amongst the crowd. He can see it. He's telling me, yeah, they're there. I was like, who? I can see a group of guys. He was like, hey, they're there. As we're walking, so obviously I'm ready to back up my Rambo, the man them are ready to back out. So we'll go through the crowd and then we'll do our stuff.
How many of you were you there?
There were 6 of us because we couldn't be too big. There were 6 of us. Okay. So the plan was just to get close to them, back it out.
You literally planned this. See what you say? 6 of us. You want to look big out here. Try to bring our whole entourage to 6. Man, okay, go on.
We had to. Because we had to remember, this happened like maybe 2 months after the incident happened to him. Because we couldn't retaliate straight away because police were asking questions in school, in college, and people getting arrested in the house and getting sent on bail and all that. So we had to wait for it to calm down. Which, can you imagine you getting beaten up and urinated and you had to wait that 2 months for getting the person back? Right. Yeah.
Bro, you know that life, innit? That life is all about pride, fam. Like,
it's pride.
You have to go, listen, if somebody, even if you urinate, even if you run away from a person trying to stab you up in it, you have to come 10 times harder. Now imagine somebody urinating on you. That's like, you just have to take about what? 10 people. Just kill 10 people right there and then. Oh yeah, 100%. Go on.
And I didn't understand that feeling till it happened to me, but I'll get to that. So we walk into the crowds. So we already spoke about what we're going to do. It was like, listen, they're outside. The girl said they're all outside. let's just not look bait. Let's go walking, and then when we get to them, boom, 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 whatever happens, and then we know the areas where we're going to run away. But he couldn't handle the anger in him. He couldn't handle it. So what he did, he just pulled out the gun, and there's people. He just went pow, 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 pow. And I'm standing next to him, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, what? Till this day, I'm like, whoa, my heart. I said, oh my days, not only you're shooting, but you're shooting at innocent people as well. On top of it.
Anger, so now, that's anger, wrath.
He's just going, Durr! And now these times I didn't even have my goggle on. So I just quickly went bang, chunk. You understand? Because our aim was, I had my beanie hat to cover, but this is serious. So we look like
Transformers.
Yeah.
Well, that's supposed to laugh it. I'm sorry. The way you just said it. Like,
it's just, it's bad.
Yeah, go on.
So cover the face now, boom. So he's shooting. I see people running. That's the first time I've seen police as well. Because there was altercation already there. There was already a few officers there. That's the first time I see officers run for their lives. I was like, wow, you're supposed to help us and you're running. So he's going, pow, pow, pow. We doing? He goes, nah. And he comes close again, pow, pow. And then we all skirted. And I was thinking in my head, I was thinking, oh my days, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? We're in the middle of the high street. Where am I going to go? If we run, because there was already police there, I'm sure police is coming already. And it's, you understand? That's for the first time I actually managed to get away and everyone else got arrested. Because what I did, instead of running with them, took off my jacket, I threw it behind the dustbin, and then I walked towards the crowd, pretending like I was amongst the party. And I knew some person that was there, and I was holding her hand, and I was like, yeah, I'm with you today. So we're walking now, police are coming, they're stopping, whoever looks suspicious, that's it, they don't care. Especially mainly if you're black, and you, they were stopping you.
Stereotyping.
So police are running. I see cars going the other side where my bridges were running. I think quick walkie-talkie. I think the officers that were already there, they can see where the rest were running. Somehow I managed to dodge their view and throw the jacket away and be amongst the crowd. But as I'm walking with the crowd, the officer looked at me. He looked at me. I was like, oh my days, I'm trembling. Then he's like, okay, go. I was like, whoo! Walked away, and then I found out after that everyone, all the other 5 I was with, they got arrested. So obviously, remember, London is the most watched city.
Yeah,
you know, of course. The most watched. So, boy, I remember when they went in court, they said they saw footage of the bus while we was on the bus talking to the community officers. When we got out the bus, because remember, this is in the high street, you know, they see everything. They saw there was 6, but obviously they can't identify me, because remember I put up the goggle jacket and I haven't found that either. You understand? So grace of God, literally. So and they saw him, they can fully see him on the camera just going bah, 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 bah. He didn't even cover nothing. He was so enraged, he even forgot to cover his face at the time when he was doing that. So yeah, he's still in there till now. He's looking to come out, I think 2023. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So when did this happen? What year?
2013.
Oh man, down a bird, like little thing. Yeah,
because he hit 2 people in it. He hit 2 people.
What the targets or innocent people?
He hit one of the guys, but one of the man in there. And he hit an innocent person. I think because he hit an innocent person that added years. You understand?
Jeez. Wow. Hey, bro, can we just breathe? Bro, hold on. Can we just breathe, fam? That. Listen, obviously we've all been in situations, innit? But this one here, that one there, that's the craziest I've ever heard, fam.
Yeah, man.
The middle of the high street. My man backed up a strap.
You just backed out, man.
Hey, let's thank God for your life. I know that your story is, we're still going, but I feel like I thank God for your life, bro. Understand, like God literally covered you in that whole situation. They couldn't identify you. Hey, listen, fam. Yeah, let's keep going. And then obviously, like, what transpired?
Yeah, so I couldn't understand why he did that. Because I remember I went to visit him and he said to me, you will never understand because it's not you that got violated. And it's not you that just, you know, when you see someone violate you and then you just see them, you just lose composure. And I was like, yeah, man, I would never understand till it happened to me. So, fast forward. So yeah, so that was the main thing then. But then after that, I was just still playing football. Remember, I still play football, right?
Yeah.
And I was getting more into the road because I started like loving the fear. People are fearing me and the love of the brothers, being around girls and stuff like that. And I start really not focusing on football. So I wouldn't go on training. I'll lie to the manager that I don't know, I got a little injury or something, which I don't, or I'll say I'm ill. So these times, before I was on point, I was always training. I was training even harder. Like if training starts at 9, I'll be there at like 8 o'clock. And I'll do my own bit. Then I'll start training. Then after 2 o'clock, when everyone goes, I'll do another hour. You understand? That's how I got my pro at 15, because they thought it was promising in that. But once I started going fully into roads, I stopped doing that, you know, which I wish now people are guiding me, but, you know, it is what it is. So I remember I got into a meeting with the head of the academy, and he's like, Melvy, like, what's happening? Like, you used to be sharp, you used to be good. Now, like, the youngsters are catching up with you. Like, you need to fix up.
Oh, if the coach says that, you're finished. Hey. You're finished. Yeah, go on.
He was like, you need to fix up. He's the same coach. He had so much, like, belief in me, because even I've been arrested a lot of times, innit? Thank God I've never been in jail. But even once I got arrested, and then I said, I'm a footballer, and they're like, what? And then they found that I am, and then my coach, instead of getting my parents, because my parents just finished me one time, my coach came and he took me out. You understand? So that's the kind of relationship I had with him. So he had so much faith in me to make it. So I had all the tools and everything to actually get there. But
all the right people around you.
It's just distraction and not really having someone to stick on me and look, just focus on that. Because I was getting more money from the roads than I was getting from football. I understand. I was more popular on the roads than I was on football. That's
how the road treats you. That's how the road treats you.
That's how the enemy treats you as well.
Amen. Yeah.
It will give you everything you want. You understand? Forget
the price. And that's your destiny. that's flushing your destiny in the toilet, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Literally. But like I said, Jeremiah 1:5, God knew you before you came out. And I'll tell you why I keep saying that, because I had to go through all of this to where I am now. And I just realized that last year. So yeah. So so my brethren called me one time and he was like, there's a party in South in Streatham, a house party. And it's a girl that he knows, and he said there's just bare girls, there's not that many men. And I was like, what? Streatham? I'm from West London, I don't really know South like that. I was like, Streatham? All I know is Brixton and Peckham, because that's what they all rave about. Them times they're all the most feared place.
Touch the button, touch the button.
Yeah. All of that. So I didn't really know all these other areas. I thought these areas are just nothing in it. But I should have listened to the voice again. The voice was telling me do not to go. Can you imagine? And I remember they were like, yeah, but it starts at 1 in the morning till late. And I was like, 1 in the morning, I got football the next day. It was a Friday night. Had a match. FA Youth Cup as well. I don't know if you know about that. It was the FA Youth Cup.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I think my battery went on. Yeah, it was the FA Youth Cup against Sheffield United. And I was starting as well and everything. So instead of saying no, I was like, you know what, this is, party. I've never been to Streatham. I like adventures, innit? I like to go travel.
It's a new place. It's a new place. So it's like, let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. So I remember, wow, this is mad. So
is this the first time that you went to South? Like, ever stepped into South, in South?
Yeah. Normally it's just because I'm from West. Normally
that's what I'm saying, like, you know, like West London, I feel like, because I'm not from London, innit? Like, literally, when people say, I've never been to North London, I always think that, brother, it's just around the corner there, like, you know, like,
it's nothing for you
I guess
there.
It's comfortability, innit? It's comfortability or something. But go on,
If there's nothing for you there as well, what's the point? What do you need? I don't know no one in the South, nothing, so what's my business there? So it's one of them things. I think the only time I knew about, the reason why I knew about Peckham as well is because of Peckham Market, stuff like that. I used to go with my auntie and my mum and dad to get stuff, so that's what I knew about it.
Okay. So, you just stop by, like just pass by type of thing.
Yeah, stuff like that. So they were like, we'll pick you up at 12:30. And I said, no, you have to pick me up around about 1-ish, because that's when I knew my parents would go to bed, you understand? And like you see in the movies, movies are not good sometimes, you know how they make your bed look like someone's sleeping there, so I meant that it properly, you understand? Put a duvet, make sure it looked like a human being was there. And I was like, I have to jump off my back. And it's like you have to go through the bathroom window. You know them small ones, not the main one, the top above that. I don't even know how I fit through that, the skinny one, It's just by force, determination, I need to get out. And then fit through that, I said, wow. Looking back, I'm like, wow, I actually fit through that. So I fit through that, jumped down, jumped in the car, and we went. Yeah, before I continue deep this, so as I went, my mum that same night had a nightmare. Yeah, she had a dream where it was all blacked out, and she sees a coffin, and she opens the coffin and she sees my face. Yeah, she woke up. What? And then she starts speaking in tongues and she starts praying. Cool, we'll leave it there. As she sees that, yeah, I am going in the car from where I live to Streatham is about, what, 40 minutes, whatever. Yeah, something like that. Nighttime, a bit, 20 minutes or something. So we get to the party, you know. So we're there, we're vibesing. My brethren is like a sweet boy, innit? So he's talking to one girl and proper talking to her. But these times there, that girl's got a man, but she's not acting like she's got a man. She's feeling him as well, they're talking. So that her man's friends were there. And they were like, what? They're looking at us like, who's this guy as well? So they called her man. And her man is one of the main guys in that area. Understand? So he came with his boys. So I remember he went out with the girl. I don't know what he was doing there. And then my other brethren, there's 3 of us in it. Because he thought he knew the girl. And that girl's not like that. So these kind of roadmen don't come to places like that because it's not her thing. Yeah. Obviously, as we all know, if you have a house party, Jingo, even if I live in Herne Bay, I will find out there's a house party.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't even know why we didn't think like that. We actually thought that, yeah, no one would know about that. So the boys came, and obviously her man saw my brethren with his girl, so he just saw red, and he's mashing him up outside, he's beating him up, and then my brethren ran in, he's like, yo, John's getting banged outside, he's getting banged out. I was like, what? I saw a bottle, I just smashed it, I ran out, thinking it was probably 1 or 2. I just looked, there's a group of boys, I don't even know how many there were.
There's always a group of boys of you. There's always a group
of them, and I was like, But I just see my brother on the floor there, thumping him, like, you know, like if you're beating a doll and the doll just don't move. It's just like, that's how I was like, whoa, they're gonna kill him. So I'm just running with the smash bottle that I got. I'm just hitting whatever I can see, and these times I'm getting punches. Then I thought, you know what, there's no point. So let me just cover my brethren. So I covered him. As I covered him, I'm just getting banged. Boom. I'm doing like an umbrella over him, yeah? I'm getting banged. And then I felt 2 hard ones near my, on my thigh, on the side of my bum. That even though they were punching me, because of the adrenaline, I didn't really feel nothing in it. But these 2, it felt like, wow. So I was like, what? So as they're doing that, then I see them run away. So I'm thinking, why are these lot running away? Like, it's just 2 of us. Why are they running away? I thought it was police maybe, but I looked around, there was no police. So I got up, and you know what? I thought, what? These are running, no problem. And then I picked up another glass thing that was on the floor. And one thing you do, when you get stabbed, yeah, your muscle loosen it. The worst thing you can do is when you get stabbed or when you get any mark in your body to tense. Because when you tense, it pumps out more blood. You understand?
You're literally telling me, like, this is crazy. Like, you're telling, like, I'm like, yo, go, bro. Like, hey.
Yeah. So you're tensing more. When you get stabbed, you're you're angry, you're tightening your body, your muscle tightens up. So obviously it tends to, more blood comes out. And the more blood comes out, the likelihood is for you to pass out. You understand? Or faint or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm running after them, thinking I'm Superman though, because I'm running after like 20 men. Yeah, man, they're running away from me. But this time they're running away from me just because I'm leaking. You understand? But I can't see that. I'm just looking at them. But I managed to get one as well. I got one, done my thing on him. And then when someone chased me as well and said, yo, you're bleeding. And I looked and I just saw blood. I'm talking about pool, like a pool of blood. And I just fainted. Boom. Fainted.
You fainted there?
Yeah, I fainted there. And then I didn't remember getting an ambulance, nothing. I just woke up when I was in the corridor of the hospital going into the room. And I woke up and I just see my mum crying. It's like, what are you doing, son? What happened to you? That's the first time I see my mum cry as well. My mum is one of them strong women, innit? You don't really see African parents cry like that, you know?
Nah.
But that's the first time I've seen her like cry like proper. So they stitched me up. And then when I got back to my mind and everything, that's when she told me, she goes, I saw you in a casket. And the first thing
hold on. Before you get to that,
yeah.
This is a groundbreaking, real life, real stories, real situation. I'm not gonna waste this. Remember when you said you had a lot of hatred in your heart, hatred, anger. but I noticed something that you still had mercy in terms of covering your friend in the midst of anger, bro. Like, you know, that just shows that, you know, God's instilled something in you, like, you know, before you didn't even know you had, in a sense, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, I want you to, I want you to elaborate. Yeah, we're gonna get to the casket part. That one, don't worry. But I want you to elaborate in the sense that, you know, what made you? I mean, I was because of the love and the code of the bro and all that stuff there. But brother, listen. At the end of the day, yeah, the people say, yeah, the road life, yeah, you're on your own. At the end, when all fails, when everybody goes to jail, no, when you go to the police station, every man is by themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? And some people have adrenaline in the sense that fear, like in the sense that they seen their brothers get tamped down, all that stuff there. They just pretend they're drawing something out, but they're starting because obviously, like, it's the first altercation that they just seen their brother just, do you get what I'm saying? But what made you, yeah, cover your brother? Like, I don't know how many people were there. How many people were there? Like the ops, in a sense, ops. How many people?
20 plus.
Listen,
Yeah,
Melvy, you've been in some stuff, fam. 20, it's always 20 plus with you.
Yeah, do you know why? Like I said, remember I said at the beginning, like, I thought I was Terminator. I thought I was a cat with 9 lives. I did not think anyone could do anything to me. So the way I carried my life, I didn't. And remember I said, if I was going to do this thing, I would do it properly. So you know when you say about people pretend like they got something, I was facing a lot of people like that, and I knew by looking into the eyes if you're on it or not on it. So I knew that even if I've made someone, being proud of it, but someone put a gun at me once, and I said, what? Because I looked at his eyes and I thought he just done that to stunt. So when he pulled it out, I was like, what? We give you a gun? And me as well, but anytime you could pull the trigger, but because I've been through these situations, I can tell, yeah, you're not on it. And literally, you weren't going to pull it. So obviously, I said to myself, bruv, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it properly, 100%.
But okay,
because that's how my cousin was. You understand?
That's how your cousin was. So you imitated your cousin, okay?
Yes. So the same way as people say, well, Christians, we're followers of Christ. The way Christ is, that's how we should be. So I was following my cousin. So everything I saw, he was real. Like, I've seen him.
You was really about the code. You was really about that code.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, I was ready to lose my life.
But wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say that obviously, like, it's because of, like, you just you even said it, you was ready to lose your life, in a sense that, was it because of the situations that you went through? Of course, it's always linked. It's always linked in terms of your experiences on earth, innit? Like, when you get into that life. It
did, because I did. Sorry, I forgot to mention. I already got released by Watford then. You understand?
Yeah. Okay. So
as I got released, what kicked in? Depression.
So you was like, I'm ready to lose my life.
Sorry?
And then you said, I'm ready to lose my life anyway. Like,
so now I already had anger, so now I added the depression. You understand?
Oh.
Now it's added the depression. So now I don't care.
Melvy, fam. Hey.
You understand?
Hey.
So now, it's mad. That's what I'm telling you. Is sometimes, because I speak to youngsters in it, and especially here, because I live in Aylesbury now, Buckinghamshire, like, you know, these youngsters here, they watch YouTube and then they think they're bad. You understand? They listen to your music, they see these rappers, and then they want to they want to copy it.
They wear tracksuit bombs, they wear tracksuit, and they think that automatically bad.
Like, and I'm trying to tell them, you don't want to live that life.
That life is real.
There's only a few of us. Right.
Melvy, let me tell you something. Yeah. Me, I was never a roadman. I would never say I was a roadman. My people were roadman. One situation changed my life, bro. I never had no statements, no nothing. But after that situation, it just changed my whole perspective of life. It's one life. Listen, one thing's for sure is validation, innit? You go into that life because of validation. You understand? Because of the situations of your home. I never had no father figure. So it's like, I wanted to please the next man. I wanted to do this. And two, I went in a situation and they were telling me I was getting shit back. Depression hit, all this stuff. Even though, like, obviously, like, the case went, obviously, like, with bus case. The main, from right then, I just realized that, hold on, brother. That is not me. That is not me. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're right.
You caught it nice and early, though.
I caught it nice and early, even though, like, those situations were going on. But, like, but I played smart with it. Because I was like, listen, I'm from Africa, bro. Do you understand? You're telling me I'm gonna go pen, come out, you're not gonna go road. Yeah, I'm gonna get shit back. And I'm gonna sit with my grandmother, who literally, like, you know, my mother obviously that came in for me to get a better life, and I'm there telling her, yeah, I'm a real guy. I was with the code. You understand? So you're right, bro. You're right. Yeah. So you speak to the youth and you tell them like this life ain't real.
Don't try to be something you don't know nothing about, bro. It's like you see a book and then you're already judging the book and you want to be like the book. What you haven't even read the book in details and you want to be like
that
the
again.
worst.
That sounded sweet. A youngster gotta know that. If I had a mic drop here, that was man. Yeah, say that again. Say that again.
It's like you see the book, and you want to be what's written in the book, but you haven't even read the book yet. It doesn't make sense. You understand?
Doesn't make sense.
And that's how many people want to be. Like they see this, maybe they see the money, they see the girls and all that, but they don't know what is behind it. The same way as someone that's successful, you don't know what hardship they've been through to get there. All you see is the success. You don't see the pain and everything. And that's what it is with the road. You might see all the money in that, but you don't know what they have to do. Bro, I remember when I was shotting weed, for my cousin, I used to, all-nighters, I used to be in the car just there, open eyes, bro, because people used to just come to the car, boom, boom, boom. I couldn't sleep. You know, things like that.
Shift,
you have to be alert because people might rob you. Stuff like that. You don't know what people go through to get to where they are. Some people, as you know, they will go to do witchcraft. You understand?
Yeah.
Witchcraft is serious in the Western world, you know. It might not be big like
for real.
It's serious. You understand?
It's real. Yeah.
Like
so
going to that, I know a guy in West London. I didn't go to because, like I said, foundation of I grew up in a Christian foundation. Thank God for that. Because my brothers were going to bring me to one guy that literally you urinate on him. It was I remember in the Acton blocks in Acton, you urinate on him, and that's how you make your money. Money will just come out. Understand? The next day will come with you stacks of money. All you need to do is urinate on the guy. Can you imagine? You just boy.
Hey, you can get that money, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ain't about real. Hey, so Melvy, so you know, like obviously, like we discovered that obviously, like, you know, your anger, your frustration, your depression, you know, this part is trapped them, you're there, and you know, you was just ready to throw your life away. Do you understand? But I feel like there was also love in that. Like, there was also love intertwined with obviously like your depression, all that stuff there. Do you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you had a good conscience, now some people have good conscience anyways, that they will just give their life to another person. That's clean heart. Do you get what I'm saying? But more times, you would, like, an ordinary person would think twice. Hold on, bro. Like, yo, 20 man, knives. Nah, hold on. You know what I'm saying? But you just went in there. You understand? So we discovered that obviously, like, it was part of your, obviously, like, your life experience and all that stuff there. Now, let's go. You are in hospital right now. Obviously, like, you fainted on the floor, pull up blood from your leg, and your mom sees you. Strong woman, strong warrior woman, prayer woman. You understand? Like, that has never showed no, like, she's just a strong woman. Break down. You understand? Let's go from there.
Yeah, man. She was in the hospital bed. She was crying. She was crying. And then she told me, she goes, you see, that night, I had a dream and I saw that it's like she left her body and then it was blackout. And then she just sees a coffin in the middle of darkness. And she's like, what's that? And she starts saying, in the name of Jesus, because she always warned me that if you have nightmares or if you think you're on an attack in your dreams, just mention the name of Jesus, because that name is powerful. Demons will scatter. You understand? So she said, in the name of Jesus. And she walked close and she sees my face and then she starts screaming. She goes, never. And she starts speaking against it in her dream. And then she woke up. And then the first thing she does, start praying, speaking in tongues and praying. And then she never goes to my room. You know what I'm saying? She never goes to check. But she thought, no, I need to go to his room and check. And that's when she clocked that I wasn't even in the bed. And then this still, like, my head baffles me, bro. She still didn't ring the police yet. She went back in her room and she started praying again. She started praying. Wherever he is, I come against these.
What? This is not a police fight. This is a spiritual fight. The police can't do nothing out here, cuz.
But for you to get that wisdom and, like, you get me? Someone was straight away the phone. You understand? Like, what's happening?
Yo. So plus, that's a mother. Do you know what I'm saying? A first mother's instinct, she gets that. She sees you're not in a room, call the police. You know what I'm saying? But her wisdom, God, listen. She listened to God and say, get back in that room, pray. Do you know that is strength in itself? So she told you about this story, and then what one?
Obviously, I was shocked, and I was like, wow. She goes, yeah. And that's when I knew her prayers like literally saved my life, you understand? Because one of the stab wounds just missed one of the arteries in my legs.
Yeah.
Just inches. Literally, if it snapped that, I would have bled out of control and maybe, God knows, you understand? So at that moment, I had two options. When she's telling me that, my heart just sank, and it's like I felt the love of Christ. You understand? Because remember, going through all of that, what happens is, that's another thing people don't know. If you want to imitate like you're a gangster, yeah, you lose emotions. You lose your emotions.
Yeah, of course. Your heart goes cold.
So things can be mad. Like you can see someone get stabbed in the neck, blood coming out. You just look at him and it's like, yeah, here's what it is.
I'll tell you a story, bro. Like it's one of them ones. Personally, for me, like I said, I was never a role man, all that stuff there. But if you roll, people are feeling that life here. It's like, it's like when you. But I am the most happiest person, bubbliest person ever. Innit? But if you see your Obsy across the street, you just have to turn into a monster, bro. Like it's just you just have to act active. Do you get what I'm saying? And that thing will grow on you, and then you start hating. The hate just grows. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, so you felt the love of Christ. You felt the love of Christ.
Yeah, when she was telling me before. So obviously these times I was in hospital for like 2 weeks. So I'm getting visitors, my bridges are coming. And it's like, you know when they say angel here, devil there. So like I'll get sisters and brothers from church come pray for me, tell me, look, this is a warning from God. Now you need to change your life now. And I said, God's give you grace. Now you need to come back. And then you get the man them comes like, bruv, revenge, bro. What? Are you mad? So, but we can get them back. Trust me. I'll find the thing down them ends there. We'll find the Donny's boyfriend, the girl's boyfriend. Don't worry, we'll find him. Yeah, we can't have that. Because the reason why I say that is because I was there for 2 weeks. I got, and my brethren that got stabbed, he got stabbed 4 times. He was in coma for 2 months. And then after 2 months, he died, you get me? So we was waiting for that because we was hoping he was going to get back. And then me as well was depending on that as well.
He died in that same altercation.
Sorry?
He died in the same altercation.
Yeah, 2 months after, yeah.
Yeah, Melvy been through trauma, bro. Hey.
Yeah, he was straight in coma, then he passed away. So, like, my decision was depending on that as well, because I was thinking if he can make it, because I was praying, God, please just give him another chance, because I knew he was in coma. But like when he died, for me, it was like, right, God, you never listen to me. Like, you get me? What's the point? He got me. So I was gonna change then, but I thought, nah. We need to ride out. Understand? We need to ride out. And
hey. So
yeah, it's mad. And I think about it now. So.
Yeah, bro. Like I don't want to bring obviously like like type of feelings, but
yeah.
What you're trying to say is that was your only hope out. If he was all right, he was like, brother, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going for good. So you were just praying, Lord, please, if you can just save his life, like you know what I'm saying, I'll get off this. The moment he snapped, and obviously may his soul rest in peace. You was like, I feel like that code reinstated itself again. Violation. You know what I'm saying? Forget the urinating on your face. Do you know what I'm saying? You just killed a brother of mine. Now you have to ride out. Understand? So by then, even though you felt the love of Christ, like, so tell me that in your emotions, in that, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, did you just put that in the back of your mind straight, or was that a whole process you had to put it in the back of your mind?
Yeah, so the thing is, like, when you go through pain like that, well, you have to put a front for people because you are a name now. People look up to you now, yeah? So it's a thing where I just put that at the back of my mind, like you said, but it's still there. You understand? So there's times where I'll just break down. I'm by myself and I'll just crumble and I'll break. But then in front of people, you understand? So that's where you will never know what people go through. People might give you a smile. People might be like, but they're already ready to commit suicide. You never know. You
but let's obviously, like, we understand that obviously on a general level that really happens, in it. People just take a front. But I feel like, I pray, a young person sees this. I just pray in it, sees this interview. Like, one thing is for sure in that life is like, there's no time for crying. There's no time for feeling. There's no time for emotions. It's just straight action. And that obviously plays with wrath in a sense, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So it just makes sense. Brother, let's emphasize more in terms of obviously that you know, as to how one just, you know, becomes emotionless. I don't know how to really explain it. How does one just, do you get what I'm saying? That,
Yeah,
yeah.
because obviously now, a child with hatred, a child with depression now, and now a child with PTSD, yeah, and now a child with hate towards God. So that's 4 things. Now, can you imagine that? That's a nuclear bomb, that is, you know. So that's now like, I'm full of darkness now. Now I'm like, you know what, this God thing, forget it, because I tried it and it didn't save my brethren. Understand? And that's what many people go through now. That's what
once your brethren dropped there, you was like, forget the love of God, didn't it? But you didn't even have a chance to like reflect and say, rah,